નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Standard 10th, Subject Science, Chapter 15, Our Environment. Hello students, today we'll discuss how do our activities affect the environment. Okay, we are an integral part of the environment. Integral means we are a necessary part of the environment. Change in the environment affect our lives. And also our activities also changes the environment. In 9th standard, you studied that many of our activities pollute the environment. Now, in this lesson, we shall be looking for the two important environmental problems. Two important environmental problems. That is ozone layer depletion and waste disposal. Okay. First of all, we will see what is ozone. What is ozone? Ozone is a poisonous gas. See, ozone is a poisonous gas. It forms the top layer of atmosphere. Its chemical formula is O3. It is made up of 3 atoms of oxygen. Made up of 3 atoms of oxygen. So where ozone will be formed? You know that, see, the Earth is made up of several layers. Troposphere, mesosphere, and stratosphere. In the stratosphere, we will form the ozone. Okay, the stratosphere. Now, what happens when this ultraviolet rays, you know that atmosphere contains oxygen. Okay, from the sun, we are getting the light. From the sun, we are getting the light. These light rays contain ultraviolet rays. These light rays contain ultraviolet rays. In presence of the ultraviolet rays, oxygens split into 2 separate atoms. See, in the presence of ultraviolet ray, see here, in the presence of ultraviolet rays, oxygen split into 2 separate atoms of oxygen. Okay, this oxygen, so here what will be there? Ultraviolet, UV rays, ultraviolet rays. In the presence of ultraviolet rays, 2 separate atoms. This free atom of oxygen reacts with oxygen molecule O2 and forms ozone. So in this way, ozone layer is formed. Understood, students? So in this way, what ozone is formed? See, ozone is formed when oxygen molecule absorbs ultraviolet photons, PHOTONs, and undergo a chemical reaction that is called as photodissociation. It is called as photodissociation. So this process. Okay, in this way, ozone is formed. Okay. Now, what is the Advantages of oxygen. What is the advantages? What is the advantages of ozone? What is the advantage of ozone? So ozone advantages of ozone is what? Advantages of ozone. Okay. Advantage of ozone. It prevents or it does not allow large amount of ultraviolet rays. It does not allow large amount of ultraviolet rays to enter our atmosphere, and thus it protects us and all other living organisms, all other living things. So this is the advantages of ozone. And what is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is what? Disadvantage. This disadvantage is it can destroy the plants. It causes skin cancer. It causes disorder of eyes or cataracts, CATARACTS, cataracts. And also, it reduces immunity in our bodies. So these are the disadvantages of the ozone. So dear students, so you know that this ultraviolet rays protecting this ozone layer protect us. Otherwise, what will happen? We are here, we are in the earth. If it enters here, that will affect to our lives or the living beings. So that is why here it is this stratosphere, ozone layer is act as like a blanket or cover. So it does not allow to come inside. And we are not also going to upper side. So in this way we are safe. But nowadays, how then ozone is depleted? See, depletion. How ozone is then depleted? The ozone is depleted because we are using some of the household items, some of the devices like refrigerator, air conditioner, fire extinguisher, and shaving cream. All these contain CFC compounds emitting chlorine to the atmosphere and reaches to the ozone layer. So, the main factor responsible for the depletion of the ozone layer is the addition of chlorine, this addition of chlorine in the atmosphere. The chlorine atom reacts with ozone and removes an atom of oxygen one by one. See, the chlorine atom reacts with ozone, removes an atom of oxygen. So in this way, this chlorine monoxide reacts with oxygen, and again Cl atom will be removed. And again this chlorine reacts with oxygen, so chlorine monoxide. So like this way, this all will be like in this fashion. One atom of chlorine can decompose 100,000 molecules of ozone. 100,000 means 1 lakh molecules of ozone. Okay, students. So addition of chlorine is responsible for the depletion of the ozone. Okay, dear students, you may ask, what is the problem of depleting the ozone? You know that when ozone with the layer becomes thin, then there may be a chances of making a hole. So this we are calling ozone holes. Then what will happen? The ultraviolet rays enters to the atmosphere. So you know that is harmful to us. So then, how we have to reduce the depletion of the ozone? How we have to reduce? We should stop the use of the devices using the CFC. So then only we can control the ozone depletion. Preventing measures. So in 1987, UNEP, United Nations of Environmental Program, UNEP. Okay, so UNEP is short form is UNEP. Say UNEP, United Nations Environmental Programs. In 1980, all governments started new programs all over the world. In this program, they have made a rule, forging, FORGING. So strong agreement has done. So no countries should use or they should minimize the CFC. Then nowadays it is completely banned. Okay, so that is why now our ozone becomes safe. Now managing the garbage we produce. So we generate a lot of material that are thrown away. What are some of these waste materials? And what will happen if we are throwing the waste materials? See, waste materials includes like kitchen waste, vegetable peels, waste paper, used tea leaves, milk packets, bottles, and old cloths. Then you know that old slippers. So these are all. So if you have throw glass bottles, so like this. If you throw, what may happen? You know that. So now the question arises, what do you mean by waste? Unwanted and unusable items are called as waste. So there are two types of waste, solid and liquid. So liquid waste can be managed easily. But the solid waste will affect the soil. So there are two types of waste, biodegradable, degradable one, and do not degradable one, non-degradable one. So some of the substances which are easily broken down by the microorganisms are called as biodegradable waste. And some of the items or some of the substances which do not decompose by the microorganisms are called as non-biodegradable waste. Okay, there are in this way two types of waste. Clear out? So you know that, for example, biodegradable waste, vegetable peels, tea leaves, cotton, papers. So these are all the examples of biodegradable waste. So non-biodegradable waste means what? Plastics, glass, metals. So these are all the example of non-biodegradable, the commonly used waste disposal, solid waste disposal in the world are commonly used as open dumping, landfillings, composting, recycling, and reuse. Okay, now compost here, open dumping, in which solid waste dumped in the selected areas of the town, but it causes pollution also. Okay, and the second one, land fillings in low-lying areas and are compacted by rolling the bulldozers. Okay, third one is composting. Okay, this one. Organic wastes are filled into the compost pit. It is then covered with a layer of the soil. So after a few days, it converted into manure. And the next one is recycling. The materials are then made into new items. The materials are made into new items. So this is the recycling. And the last one is the reuse. Using an item again. Okay. So these are the garbage disposal methods. Okay, dear students. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.